Ladies and gentlemen, dear Prime Minister Samaras, Antonis, welcome. Dear Dr. Kantor, Moshe, it's a pleasure to welcome you, Ambassador Lauder. Welcome to the European Parliament, and especially you, ladies and gentlemen, the Holocaust survivors who are with us tonight. Welcome to the European Parliament. It's an enormous honor for us to welcome you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it clearly. Anti-Semitism and racism are a threat to our basic values, those of democracy and respect for diversity and human rights. Holding a memorial ceremony such as ours cannot undo the atrocities that happened to so many families, but it can serve as a warning. It can serve as a tribute, and it can serve as a lesson. The Shoah was the worst tragedy of humankind, yet the dangers and demons are regrettably still present in our society.
Our duty not to allow such horrendous crimes again is, of course, a constant part of our agenda of this presidency, of the previous presidencies, and on the ones to come. As a matter of fact, it is more than a political priority. It is carved in stone in our souls. As Prime Minister of Greece last March, I addressed a memorial ceremony to commemorate the first train that drove 70 years ago my Jewish compatriots, my mother was born in Salonika, from Nazi-occupied Salonika to the death camps. A leading delegation of the world and the European Jewish Congress participated at this commemoration. My message last March can be summed up in 2 words: Pote xana, never again. This is exactly my message to you today: never again.
We remember the people, the communities, the life and thoughts, but we are also pledged to remember and never forget their legacy and the lessons of the Shoah. Next year, we will come together to mark 70 years since the liberation of Auschwitz. But are we truly liberated? Are Jews liberated today in the European society where they feel secure and safe as they identify themselves as Jews in the streets of Europe? The serious study conducted by the Fundamental Rights Agency of the European Union, published just a few months ago, demonstrates that the majority of European Jews feel unsafe in today's Europe, and over 75% feel that anti-Semitism has increased dramatically over the last 5 years. Are our European citizens truly liberated from the hate and intolerance that led to Auschwitz? 70 years after Auschwitz, who could imagine representatives of the parties with Nazi insignia, race hatred for Jews, and tendency to violence marching down the streets of our capitals and into our parliamentary chambers, including this very respected one. The European Jewish Congress is therefore proud to be here today with Prime Minister Samaras, who has demonstrated his courageous leadership in fighting these evil forces in his own country, and his leadership should serve as a model for the entire European continent.
I would like first to thank the three speakers who just spoke, and you, the President, and you, the Foreign Minister of a country I love deeply, Greece, for what you said. And I wish these kind of words would be more and more unnecessary, perhaps in the end, but more commonly heard. And I thank you very much. I only have here one violin, which is 300 years old, and I will try to say with notes what I feel and what you said in words. Thank you.
We must remember the pledge that Konrad Adenauer gave at Bergen-Belsen in 1960, and I quote, "Never must the events that happened during the Nazi rule be allowed to happen again, anywhere in the world." It is my goal and the goal of the World Jewish Congress and the European Jewish Congress to make sure that this never happens again. As much as I am honored to be here today with all of you in this great hall, I certainly wish there was no reason to have a Holocaust Remembrance Day. We all do. I wish Jews were safe all over the world, that they could live their lives and raise their children and walk to synagogues without fear. It's alarming to see the far-right anti-Semitic groups in Hungary and in Greece and other countries. And we must do everything we can to stop it.
But just before leaving, since we are talking about children and our children, and for just leaving, I will just play to you a little lullaby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged and indeed honored to have with us tonight survivors of the Shoah. Mathilde Lévy was deported from Rhodes to Auschwitz on July 23, 1944. 22 of her close family members were killed during the Shoah. Mathilde is the only living member. Rebecca Hazan was arrested in Rhodes on July 20, 1944. She was deported to Auschwitz and arrived there on August 16th. She was liberated by the Red Army in Theresienstadt on May the 9th, 1945. Having lost her parents, her brother and her fiancé, she decided to fight to stay alive, and today she has 8 great-grandchildren. Susanna Hitter was taken to the Neuvarod ghetto in Hungary in May 1944 and then sent to Auschwitz-Birkenau. Susanna was finally liberated in January 1945. She was very sick and weighed a mere 30 kilograms. She lost 72 members of her family. Tiberius Hitter and his family were living in Hungary. In December 1944, he was taken on a 4-week death march to Theresienstadt concentration camp, where he was liberated in May 1945 by the Russian army in a very bad physical condition. His brothers, his sister, and his parents did not survive. Paula Huber was deported from Hungary and sent with her family to Auschwitz-Birkenau. She was there until July 1944, when the Germans sent her to a concentration camp in Germany to be a nurse. Paula was liberated in May 1945. She lost 52 members of her close family in the Shoah. Izzy Kilbert was deported in August 1944 from Belgium to Auschwitz. Izzy also survived the death march and was liberated from Bergen-Belsen. Izzy Kilbert lost 25 members of his family in the Shoah. He now lives with his family in Brussels and has 9 great-grandchildren.
Leilom in korbir choso vesirosol, dus bechoso nechemoso, damirom beolmo veimru omen. Ye heselo morabo min somayo, vechai molenu, vealkol Israel veimru omen. Oise solaim imraimo, Yase Sholai Molinu, ve'al Israel, ve'imru, Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is a great honor for me.
It's an honor for me to meet you.
Danke. Ja, danke. Vielen Dank, dass Sie gekommen sind. Merci beaucoup pour votre présence. Merci beaucoup.